Hey, what's going on, everybody? Max here with BB, and today for 10 Minutes Max, we're going to be talking about Sol, and then Sol ETH, Sol BTC, and really just kind of gauging where Sol could be within the context of the market on the higher time frames in this cycle. Before we get into it, guys, please consider liking the video and also subscribing to the channel if you are new here. Let's not waste any time and get into it. Starting here on TradingView, guys, I had these drawn in advance just to try to save a little bit of time, but basically Sol has just been like flirting with sub 120 all the way since March when it finally flipped this blue level. And basically this level on the chart is the most important one. Goes all the way back to the previous cycle where you basically had your final push up over here in September of 2021, and then when you finally broke down and you refused to hold here, it served as a major resistance point. So on the higher time frames, this is such a significant level. And then, of course, you had confirmation over here in December of 2023 where you rejected from it once before finally breaking through. And then ever since we marked up in late Q1 of this year, 2024, we've been flirting with this level the entire time, and it has basically refused to give out. All right. So there's a couple ways you could look at this chart. One, you could be like, oh, this is a really like drawn out sort of distribution, and we're for sure gonna, do this and then come down. And you could look at it like that, or you could look at it in the correct light and say, Solana is getting more volume and activity than it's basically a black hole. It's sort of the degen chain of this cycle. Everybody's using it to speculate and gamble. It's quick. A lot of people are developing on it. And there's a reason that it's not breaking down. It's because it's actually one of the few chains that's being used and used a lot. So, looking at this chart right here, I just can't help but think, all right, we have been here for a long time. And it's a very, very significant level. This might not be a distribution. This is most likely a reaccumulation or a giant bull flag before we move higher. So, it's possible we could get a little bit of resistance, maybe up here at like 180, and then come back a little bit. And then I would imagine probably break out and move higher. And we're going to talk about what that could potentially look like. But another thing that people have been debating here is, what's going on with the Sol ETH pair, right? What is going on with the Sol ETH pair? And for me, I've been saying for a long time, I'm genuinely like indifferent on this pair right now because I can see both sides as like why this would be bullish or why it would be bearish. And for those that don't know what this is Sol paired against ETH. When this chart is moving down, that means that ETH is a better hold than Sol. When it's moving up, Sol is a better hold than ETH. Okay, so we're pairing these two L1s against each other. Now, the bearish case looking at something like this chart right here would be, this is not what I wanted to look at. We will flip this back and then go, that is a great chart though. We could probably talk about that another time. But the bearish chart for Sol ETH would basically be Sol ETH doing something like this, right? And you would effectively be in that region right now. And where I'm going with this, you should probably be able to tell, would basically be a distribution like, like the one that we saw over here for Bitcoin, basically in like April or May of 2021. So, I'm really not willing to bet that because like you want to wait for a break of structure. But this is the pattern that Sol ETH bears are looking at going, yeah, like this is potentially concerning, right? And you can see it, you can see it. Context is key though, right? This was at the end of a cycle, things were really overheated. Alts were, going crazy, like big L1s against Bitcoin. And, it kind of slowly rolled over. And it really didn't get bearish here for Bitcoin in this distributive fractal until you finally broke down, break of structure, complacency shoulder, boom. So in order for this to actually be bearish, you would probably at a minimum have to, break this low over here. And we are nowhere near doing that. It would have to go like down here, then, we bounce back up and then it's over, right? But you can't just look at this and go, oh yeah, it's the same. Context is key. Market structure is key. We're much earlier in a cycle over here than we were over here. Obviously, this is an L1 and this is two L1s paired against each other. But I'm just telling you, like, that's the bear case for it, right? And it's because of that fractal, okay? So we're bullish on this pair until we get a break of market structure, which we haven't gotten yet. So you want to assume that, all right, this is going to continue moving up until it doesn't, right? You don't want to be fading strength like this. Not yet, okay? So we're bullish on this pair for now. Sol should outperform ETH. Sol BTC, I drew this the other day on Market Check. You can ignore this. It's a YouTube show. We were talking about the same exact thing, where this is either a giant bullish compression here that's going to move up, or you'd be looking for a break of structure similar to what I was just showing you, where you would actually break these lows and then move down. So you'd break these lows, bounce back up, and then probably retest down here in this demand. So you don't want to be bearish Sol BTC until you see a break of structure, because for right now, this is a very bullish pattern. This is a bullish reaccumulation pattern on top of a very, very important level on the chart, being this one right here, right? It was sort of the bull's last stand last cycle. We lost it. Then it acted as resistance, and then we entered the bear market, and now we are holding on top of it. It's a very, very important level for Sol BTC. So for now, I would expect this pair to continue moving up through this cycle, maybe even going to all-time highs, which is Sol against BTC. But let's actually have a little bit of fun here, because there's been this idea thrown around that like Sol is one cycle behind ETH, and I think it's probably worth entertaining a fractal like this. So let's take a look at it. So let's put Sol up on the weekly, and we'll put ETH up on the weekly. And we were tracking this a long time ago, but it's basically this idea that they're kind of one cycle apart. Obviously, Sol is younger. You know, the fractals won't be exactly the same. But if we just mark out some similarities here, and here I'll just so people don't get confused. ETH is over here on the left. Oops. And this is Sol over here. Okay. So there are definitely some similarities, right? Like going back to last cycle, you could look at this little cluster, you know, and then right here. And then, you know, we could mark out the, you know, the all-time high right here. We'll put this in green. And then again, all-time high, put it in green. And then we could mark out the complacency shoulder right here. We'll put this in red for ETH 2 cycles ago versus Sol now. Complacency shoulder. And then you basically come down into this, you know, awful bear market. And let's put this, I guess, in, let's put it in purple. We'll change it up. And you could argue that, you know, the same thing basically happened right over here. And of course, the divergence in these is kind of happening now, where Sol has paused for quite a bit over here. You know, and ETH really just once it got back above the complacency shoulder, you know, it really just blasted off, where Sol has sort of effectively paused after getting back above its, love if I could draw it. There we go. Has paused a little bit, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? It's never going to be perfect, but you can definitely see the similarities between ETH and Sol. And then, of course, adding another bit of confluence to it, like let's look at where Bitcoin was, let's look at where Bitcoin was contextually during the 2020 cycle, you know, when ETH was doing this fractal. So let me just change these colors up just to make it pretty, because if we're here, we're going to do it the right way. And then let me add Bitcoin down below over here. All right. So here we go. Change the candle colors. I'll make this orange. Change these up. Very nice. Okay. So then adding some further confluence to this as well, we have, this is last cycle, ETH, versus this cycle, Sol. So let's take a look at where Bitcoin was when this fractal was basically playing out. Sorry about that. Struggling with TradingView today. So here's the previous cycle all-time high. And here's the previous cycle all-time high. So you can see that this fractal really began to take off. Like we went crazy. We paused kind of right here. And this could be potentially where we're at right now, right? If we were to try to tighten this up a little bit, we could do this. Like this was your bear market range. And then this was your, this was your pause. Put this in orange. So we could very much so look at something like this and go, yeah, this is a little bit longer, but it's still your pause after breaking out of the, this giant range right here, right? So a couple different ways to look at it. But let's look at Bitcoin, right? Where did this fractal start going crazy for ETH last cycle? It was right as Bitcoin was about to go into price discovery. Wasn't quite at the previous cycle all-time high yet. So where are we right now? Well, Bitcoin is, kind of chilling around the previous cycle all-time high, just like it was last cycle, and it hasn't gone into price discovery yet. So interesting, right? Interesting. So if we really, wanted to expand this out a bit, and see where Sol could head the cycle, if it really is doing what ETH did last cycle, ETH last cycle from its all-time high, previous all-time high to the new cycle top, went up 228%. So for Sol, that would, if it did the exact same thing, which it won't, that would potentially take it up to, you know, close to $1,000, 800 to $1,000, something up in there. All right, let's see if there's any fib confluence. I didn't do this in advance, so we're just going to kind of map it out and see. So if we did high to low, so range high to range low, and then we put on our price discovery fibs, almost went to the 3.618, so pretty close there last cycle. So if Sol did that exact same thing, range high to range low, and it went to the 3.618, that would actually take it to $900. So we'll see. But for right now, really just kind of focusing on Bitcoin, getting into price discovery, and then of course, this fractal is certainly worth watching. Right, it is certainly worth watching. But thank you guys so much for being here. Before you guys go, please consider liking the video and also subscribing if you found some value out of what we just did here today. And last but not least, guys, please consider checking out the links below. It is an absolutely awesome product, guys. It's a Swiss Army knife. It's got all of the tools and data that you could ever need or want in order to succeed in these markets. And we custom built it here at BB. We spent about 9 months to about a year, actually, building this thing from scratch, and we are now in beta, so you can actually use it. It's heavily discounted right now, and if you buy the BB terminal, you can also pay in crypto, guys. If you check that out, you can pay in crypto. You're going to get access to our Telegram alerts channel also, but if you really want to take your trading to the next level, guys, check out one of our Discord packages. What you can expect there is 3 hours per day of private live voice calls with me and the entire BB team and community. We have active positions channels, TA channels, things that we don't talk about here on YouTube or on X, guys. There's nothing like it out there. And within the BB Discord, you're going to get free access to the BB terminal included for free. There is not another community out there doing what we're doing, guys. So we continue to reinvest our time and our money into the community, and that's why people love it and they stay. So this market is too big to navigate alone. I encourage you to get out there, find your group. We certainly want to be that group for you. Maybe, it's not what you're looking for. Maybe it's exactly what you're looking for, but my trading has gotten exponentially better. My confidence in these markets has gotten exponentially better when I surrounded myself with the guys on the BB team and the BB community. A bunch of guys, like-minded individuals that take it seriously. So definitely consider checking out one of our Discord packages. But if not, join us with BB Terminal plus Telegram. Last but not least, guys, check out the BB Academy. If you like my charting here today and you want to learn all of our tips, tricks, secrets, everything like that, how we cumulatively as a team here at BB have navigated these markets from a technical and fundamental perspective for decades, check out the BB Academy, guys. I just dropped a free course, How to Make Your Trading View Charts Look Beautiful. Important first step. If you don't know how to look at the data and manipulate the data to be easier to understand, you're going to struggle. So check out that free course. But if you really want to take it to the next level and expedite your journey towards understanding these markets, check out the paid course, guys. There's nothing like it out there. I honestly can say with confidence, it's one of the best courses, if not the best trading courses for all levels, beginner, intermediate, advanced. It covers everything you need to know. So a lot of people out there, myself included, teaching TA for free and FA. But there's a difference between a paid product and a free product, and you guys will see that if you join the BB Academy. It's an absolutely awesome course. But yeah, join us somewhere, guys. Join us in the Discord. Check out BB Terminal. Check out BB Academy. You can pay in crypto now for our services. So major, major benefit. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for being here. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Take care.